some of the stuff that they found at his, they did like release some of the stuff that they found. They found like weird paintings,
in the island.
like of Bill. Like, they found like a painting of Bill Clinton, like in Monica Lewinsky.
Oh,
He's dressed in like a woman's
that's
dress.
actually one of those things that I heard. He's a huge art collector. He's one of those he has
Yeah,
a
he
huge
has a
art collection. That, you know what, that
he
makes
has
me
a
kind of disgusted though. You know why? You and
he
I
has
were
a
artists, right?
painting. He has a painting. He has a painting of Bill Clinton in a dress.
That's like they found it out.
Yeah, you can look it up, man. He has a painting of President Bush, George Bush, with a paper plane, and he's throwing it at like these like Jenga towers, stuff like that. It's
Oh,
pretty weird
you're
stuff.
you're right.
Yeah,
And it's not like a photo editing. It's a legitimate painting. It's a bizarre.
yeah. It's a really it's a really fucked up case, okay? And the fact, is weird because like I told you, like I was like talking to like some younger Korean dude or whatever. Like we were like chilling and talking, and I mentioned Jeffrey Epstein. He had no idea what I was talking about, and I was like, "You don't know Jeffrey? You don't know who Jeffrey Epstein is?" He was like, "Nah." So like I was just like, I guess like the Korean media just doesn't cover that sort of stuff, and
It's
it's
more
kind
like
of
they don't
weird because
really care. But
that's like one of the biggest stories that like came out
yeah,
within like
people
the
should
last
know
like
about
10,
this.
15. People should know about it.
Yeah, man, that's why we're talking about it
Yeah.
here. Cause
People should know how like messed up the world is like behind closed doors. Uh I think people should know. Like I think that's like one of the things like about Korea that kind of irks me is that like there's a lot of just like taking things on surface value.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
If you're really interested in these kind of stuff, people still know about this.
Yeah, I
But
guess I
but
guess
like
if
it,
you wanted to, yeah.
but like you said, a lot of Koreans. First of all, they don't really care, and media doesn't really you know talk about these kind of stuff. I don't know
Yeah.
why.
Well, yeah,
They don't
you
want
have
them
to
to know.
understand. Yeah, they don't want them to know because there's a lot of child prostitutes that come from Korea
Yeah, yeah.
and Vietnam and like the Philippines,
Hmm.
even Japan. Like, like how many missing children how many children go missing every year in Korea?
Maybe a lot.
It's probably a good number, right?
Yeah.
Where do you think they go? They go to guys like Jeffrey Epstein.
You know what? That's actually like, that's right.
Yeah, but I mean, like that's like a really dark thing to like have inside your head, right? To think about. So I guess that's one of the reasons why Korean people wouldn't want to think about it. It's like that's like really like
This is the
that
you know
that
the
sort of
crazy
thing
thing.
ruins my day. It's very negative.
It's not just that. I
Yeah, go
don't
ahead.
really know why like the media, the news doesn't really talk about this. This is actually like you said. This is one of those like craziest things happened recently. Do you know what I'm saying? Like people should know
Well,
about this
this happened like maybe like not even recently. This happened like
long
this
ago,
whole
but he died like a
it
couple
came out at
years
least
ago.
like
That's what I
four or
know.
five. I mean, not even like when did Jeffrey Epstein die? Let me look that up real quick, yo.
I think he
Cause he
died in like
died.
2019 or something, man. Like
Yeah,
five
that was
years
a
ago.
while ago, dude. That was a while ago. In my book, that's a while ago. You know
Right.
what I mean? So the fact that like the average Korean person doesn't even know about Jeffrey Epstein, it does speak to. I think this is what I think. I think it's like so like the Korean government they take their cues from what the American government does, the American government, they want to cover this up. They don't want people to talk about this. So I mean, we could talk about Taylor Swift. We could even talk about this other thing that's more like, I'm into wrestling. This guy Vince McMahon, the guy who started WWF and WWE. They just released a bunch of, he just got accused of sexually like abusing this woman, and it's like really like sick stuff.
He must
But
he must be old, huh? He must be like
yeah, he's old as hell.
70s, right? He's in his 70s.
Yeah,
I don't know.
he's really old.
Yeah. So
And
speaking of like, so
I think a lot of this stuff is just distractions to distract people from the real problems that's going on. Like what happened to that Jeffrey Epstein list. Like, no, there's other names on there. Like there's a lot of like guys like, Chris Tucker.
yeah, I love him. What about him?
He's been to Epstein Island.
Is that for real?
Yeah,
He was one of those guests.
yeah,
Are you serious?
yeah. I love Chris Tucker too. I think he's a great entertainer, but he's had everybody there. It's fucked up, man.
You're right. Chris Tucker on Epstein plane list.
Hmm. Yeah.
I mean, it's nothing to laugh about, but it's crazy.
I mean, it is kind of, in a dark way, it is kind of funny, but yeah, it's still like
Michael Jackson.
dark
No,
as
it's not. Oh, it's not it. Oh, okay. It's really dark.
yeah.
Damn.
It's a fucked up world we live in, man. When people don't want to think about it, but
Yeah.
that's the stuff. That's the stuff that happens. That's the stuff that controls the people who make all the decisions in the world. Is guys like that. And there's people above him apparently, because I mean he ended up dead too. So,
God, and people should know more about this, man.
Well,
But the
I
thing is,
mean,
like the
like,
government, man. The government try to. Maybe it's not just media. You know what I'm saying? Like the reason why
media, yeah.
Korean people, like Korean media, doesn't really take care. I mean, talk about this kind of stuff is that our government doesn't want to talk about it either.
Well, you have to
That's one of
understand well, you have to understand it doesn't matter what country you're in. The media is not like the media acts like they're a separate entity, like from the government, but they're actually just another branch of the government. The media always works for the government, man. I mean, like that's just like people have to stop thinking like, oh, like the media and the news they're reporting for they're trying to find the truth. No, they're not. They're just it's like they're running a script for the government to like read to us basically.
So
I mean that's my opinion. I mean, I don't know. What do you think about that, Shawn?
you mean this Jeffrey Epstein thing?
Just everything we're talking about right now.
I mean, it's been always like this, man. Powerful people has been doing like shady stuff.
Yeah.
There's nothing we can do about it. It's been thousands, maybe like even back in like 1,000 years ago, man. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Always, people with power, they have done some terrible stuff. So I'm like I'm not even like this is not even like super shocking thing. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I was about to say, speaking of darker things, there's actual video footage that somebody took of all the people, a lot of like high uh, high society people in America, like celebrities and politicians, worshiping like a owl statue. in like San Francisco, like on like a retreat.
Really?
Yeah,
That I didn't know about.
yeah. It's like it's not like it's like kind of like devil worshiping basically. Like like a lot of like colleges and universities in America, they like recruit people into these sort of things, like through like fraternities,
Mm.
like frat houses, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like Yale has the Skull and Bone Society.
What?
Yeah, it's like an actual fraternity that you could join if you go to Yale.
What else?
And also a lot of presidents they come up through those fraternities. So like George Bush and John Kerry were both in the Skull and Bone Society. And
What?
both of those presidents they ran against each other during an election like back what like 20 almost like 20 years ago or something like that.
Yeah.
So you have to understand a lot of these like politics and stuff it's like rigged.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I think even Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton are kind of related, loosely related to each other through family or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like that's. I think that's been proven. But you gotta look, you gotta like dig into it, and like even like I mean I don't know, man. Like it's just like that's why like politics doesn't even like matter to me. It's just like a dog and pony show, you know.
Mm,
Like to
mm,
me,
mm,
it's like just like it's just it like riles people up and like gets people like kind of divisive and like get it divides people and it gets people to like um you know
I don't really give
kind
a
of
shit
get at
about
each other.
politics.